The recount is over in Wisconsin. We may be watching a soft coup in progress, and American liberals absolutely lose their minds over the election of Donald Trump. It's SkyWatchTV for Tuesday, December 13th, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. And thanks to Josh Peck for covering the last couple of days. And thank you for your prayers. Sharon and her family appreciate them. First up, President Obama has ordered a 10-year deep dive into election hacking. This investigation won't focus exclusively on the recently completed election, but will include elections going back to 2008. There were experts in 2008 who concluded that Chinese hackers hacked into both the campaigns of Barack Obama and Republican nominee John McCain. After first rejecting the idea, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell Monday said that the Senate will launch its own investigation into Russian hacking. McConnell told reporters that he has confidence in the CIA, which says it has secret evidence of Russian hacking, and McConnell added that Russia is not our friend. Top Democrats in the Clinton campaign agreeing with the investigation. They also want a briefing on the hacking before the Electoral College votes. This is a push to delegitimize the election of Donald Trump. 10 electors want the intelligence community to give them access to this so-called secret information before they vote. Next Monday is the deadline for the electors to cast their votes for the president. And that is how the president is actually selected. Now, it's no surprise that 9 of the 10 are Democrats. One of them, the daughter of the Democratic Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. It's a long shot at best. But again, the whole purpose of this is to delegitimize the presidency of Donald Trump if they can't prevent him from taking office. But retired intelligence experts who've looked at this say Russia did not hack the election. In fact, there was no hack. The machines in question, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, weren't actually connected to the internet. So they say what they're talking about here is a leak, not a hack. You see, if information was hacked, the NSA, which tracks all internet communications in the U.S., which is a violation of the Constitution, our protections against unlawful search and seizure, but they do it anyway. They would have a record of who lost the information and who obtained the information. They would know. They would know, beyond a doubt, who had this information and who was responsible for the hack. Instead, we've got a trove of emails released from the Gmail account of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign chair. That is a leak. Somebody with access to that information copied the information to a thumb drive maybe and gave it to WikiLeaks. And because it was a leak, these experts say, more than likely it's somebody in the American intelligence community who didn't want to see Hillary Clinton in the White House. I repeat, it was a leak, not a hack, and a leak perpetrated by someone on the inside, the CIA or the NSA, an American intelligence operative. This, by the way, confirmed by former intelligence analyst for the UK and former UK ambassador to Uzbekistan, Craig Murray. He wrote Sunday that he's actually met the person responsible for sending the Podesta emails to WikiLeaks. And he said the leaker works for one of America's intelligence agencies. Donald Trump opposed the recount of the votes in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Wisconsin, the recount is over. It actually increased the margin of victory for Donald Trump by 131 votes. So if the election was hacked, apparently the hackers not really all that good. A judge in Pennsylvania has denied a request by Jill Stein, the former Green Party presidential candidate, for a recount there. He called Stein's suspicion of a hacked Pennsylvania election bordering on the irrational. Now, of course, this hasn't stopped the major media from reporting the Russia hacked us meme as gospel truth. And all of this ignores the elephant in the room, which is that nobody has shown that anything in the Podesta emails that were released is untrue. And those emails revealed that Hillary Clinton essentially engaged in criminal abuse of office while she was the Secretary of State, using the Clinton Foundation, allegedly a nonprofit, as pay for play, access to the United States government. And of course, it also showed that the major media was more than willing to collaborate with the Clinton campaign, sending her debate questions in advance and letting the campaign approve articles before they were published in major news outlets. And yet that's real news, and were fake news. There is a hack that's taking place in this election, and it's happening in plain sight. This is an attempted coup by the liberal media and the Democratic Party. The major media, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, and their cronies, have lost every shred of credibility that they had coming into this election. And now they're doubling down on this. You remember the Washington Post ran that story a couple of weeks ago we told you about, that slammed members of the alternative media like SkyWatchTV, Steve Quayle, True News, Alex Jones, as pushers of Russian propaganda. And now it's taking this CIA secret information as gospel truth. PSYOPs are what the CIA does. Psychological operations, putting out information, disinformation, misinformation, in order to influence what people think about certain things and thus how they behave. And could we just point out here and be perfectly honest that the United States government funds propaganda itself? I mean, we may think of Voice of America as a voice of truth and liberty to the oppressed peoples of the world. But the governments in places like Russia and some of those Central Asian dictatorships, because it's presenting an American worldview on events around the world, it is essentially propaganda. And Congress funds organizations like the National Endowment for Democracy, the International Republican Institute, USAID, all of which try to promote pro-American groups inside foreign countries. How do you think the pro-American president of Ukraine got elected during the Orange Revolution, during the Bush administration? And why do you think the pro-Russian president of Ukraine was basically run out of the country 2 years ago? It was because of American influence. And what about President Obama's rather heavy-handed threat to take a close look at American trade deals with Britain if British voters decided to leave the European Union? Was that not American interference in a foreign election? Of course it was. So look, to those of us paying attention to what's going on, some of these claims by the media are so over the top that they're laughable, but the consequences of this could be really serious. Not only is it encouraging civil unrest, if not outright civil war here in the United States, look, my liberal friends, Donald Trump is the president-elect. Deal with it. Some of the media has clearly become unhinged. For example, former MSNBC anchor Keith Olbermann actually believes we are literally at war with Russia.
We are at war with Russia. Or perhaps more correctly, we have lost a war with Russia without a battle. We are no longer a sovereign nation. We are no longer a democracy. We are no longer a free people. We are the victims of a bloodless coup. So far, a bloodless coup engineered by Russia with, at best, the traitorous indifference of the Republican Party and Donald John Trump, a man who, to borrow a phrase from another December long ago, will live in infamy.
Wow. Now, there's a young lady by the name of Louise Mensch. She's a former MP, that's a member of parliament in the UK, moved to the United States, lives in New York now. She is the founder and editor of a popular news site called Heat Street. Again, she is allegedly conservative. She tweeted over the weekend that President Obama should launch precision bombing raids on Russia for the election hack. According to the Federation of American Scientists, which is a nonpartisan group that tracks nuclear weapons around the world, it's estimated that as of right now, Russia has 7,300 nuclear warheads, of which 1,790 are strategically operational. Most of them pointed at you and me. Wake up! Advocating for war with Russia is insane. By the way, Louise Mensch actually, one of the Podesta emails, submitted a spec script for an ad, a television ad for the Hillary Clinton campaign. It wasn't used, but that kind of shows where her loyalties lie. This is so far over the top. This is so far removed from rational thought that it has to be supernatural. And as Christians, we need to constantly remember when we're reading the headlines in the news that the principalities and powers that the Apostle Paul warned us about are actively at work in the world today. And that's who we really contend with. So as we see this, these open calls for war by major media, pray. Contact your representatives in Congress, but mainly pray, and pray hard. The spirits against whom we contend want us at each other's throats. They want human blood shed. Pray that the Lord rebukes them, binds them, and clips their bat-like wings. Coming up, scientists say that huge oceans under the surface of the earth could harbor alien life. That's ahead on SkyWatch TV.
Coming exclusively from SkyWatch TV for a very limited time starting December 6, 2016. When you purchase the new 3-book special investigative research collection, Abaddon Ascending, Final Fire, and the Sheerith Imperative from SkyWatchTV.com, you'll receive the largest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history. An unprecedented value of over $400 in free books, DVDs, audio files, and the never-before-released data DVD library from Dr. Michael Lake on the Sheerith Imperative, which includes 56 Christian classic works on PDF. All 28 episodes in Dr. Michael Lake's Understanding the Kingdom audio series. The latest version of Eastward for Windows. The 3-part Into the Multiverse television series where Josh Peck interviews Dr. Michael Lake on the Sheerith Imperative. And nearly 3 hours of bonus interviews on video with Dr. Lake on the Sharpening Report. For your library or to give away as gifts. Also included in this biggest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history are Josh Peck's full-length 2016 DVD presentations, The Quantum Future and Extra-Dimensional UFOs. Dr. Michael Lake's full-length 2016 DVD presentations, Jericho, The Anatomy of a Stronghold, and The Shinar Directive. The new 5-part SkyWatch TV special investigative report on the books, Abaddon Ascending, Final Fire, and The Sheerith Imperative. But that's not all. You'll also receive the new Best of SkyWatch Television on DVD. Over 5.5 hours of the most popular episodes in SkyWatch TV history. Travel through the multiverse on the new Best of Into the Multiverse on DVD. Over 5 hours of audio with Josh Peck on the coming Technocalypse. The best-selling book, The Final Roman Emperor. An incredible 5-year subscription to the SkyWatch magazine. 2 brand new free gift books, and the never-before-released data DVD library from Dr. Michael Lake on the Sheerith Imperative. For your library or to give away as gifts, an unprecedented value of over $400 in never-before-offered free products. This is the biggest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history, and it's yours absolutely free when you purchase the new 3-book special investigative research collection, Abaddon Ascending, Final Fire, and the Sheerith Imperative for only $39.95 plus shipping from SkyWatchTV.com, beginning December 6, 2016. But be advised, this astonishing promotion is limited to first come, first serve while supplies last. So it's urgent that beginning December 6, 2016, you place your order for the new 3-book special investigative research collection. This offer is on a limited time basis and will end without notification. So be sure to visit SkyWatchTV.com to follow the updates. In the countdown to the biggest giveaway in SkyWatch TV history, the unprecedented value of over $400 in never-before-offered free products while supplies last. For more details, log on to SkyWatchTV.com.
Looking at the news headlines, it's easy to conclude that we're getting near the end, but God is raising up a remnant for these days. Are we on the verge of an end times revival? Tom Horn, Donna Howell, and Dr. Larry Spargamino talk about their new book, Final Fire. That's this week on SkyWatch TV. You'll find the complete listings at the website, skywatchtv.com/channels. And remember, we've got a new outlet, Family Entertainment Television, FETV, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. But again, complete listings at the website. And our SkyWatch TV web exclusive this week, we continue the conversation with Tom Horn, Donna Howell, and Dr. Spargamino. Again, the book Final Fire, God Raising Up a Remnant in the End Times. And boy, do we need revival right now. Regardless of what shakes out of this political skullduggery taking place in Washington, D.C., the real enemy, the principalities, powers, rulers of spiritual darkness, they're not going away anytime soon. As evidence, I submit this. Burning Man, the festival that takes place in the desert every year, draws about 60,000 revelers, announced that its theme for 2017 is Radical Ritual. The co-founder of the event, Larry Harvey, wrote, quote, "Beyond the dogmas, creeds, and metaphysical ideas of religion, there is immediate experience. It is from this primal world that living faith arises. In 2017, we will invite participants to create interactive rites, ritual processions, elaborate images, shrines, icons, temples, and visions," end quote. This is dangerous. It's why the Apostle John warned us, test the spirits because not all are from God. Just because you're having a supernatural experience doesn't mean it's from a friendly spirit. They lie. Well, co-founder Larry Harvey also added that for the first time, the effigy for Burning Man, that's the thing that they burn, which gives the whole thing its name, would be enclosed in a temple and reach up to the sky with a spire. Now, not everybody, all of these burners were happy about this. One commented at their website that he wants a separation of church and burn. Harvey later walked back that announcement, said the temple and the burn will be separate as always, but there is a temple at Burning Man, and this year's theme, Radical Ritual, as our friend Carl Tykrib has been warning anyone who will listen for several years now, Burning Man and festivals like it have already become a new world religion. Well, they lost Palmyra, but they've won Aleppo. The Syrian army declared victory in that country's largest city after 4 years of fighting. As Josh Peck told you yesterday, the historic city of Palmyra in Syria was attacked by about 4,000 ISIS fighters. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that offensive may have been orchestrated. What did he mean by that? Well, the former UK ambassador to Syria said that the U.S. and its allies didn't lift a finger to try to stop it, even though the U.S. has sophisticated satellite surveillance capabilities that probably picked up on the vehicles moving toward Palmyra. The U.S. is sending 200 more soldiers into the fight in Syria. This is days after the Obama administration lifted a ban on supplying arms to the rebels there. I hate to be so cynical, but is it a coincidence that this new supply of weapons for the rebels coincides with the Syrian army taking back the city of Aleppo from the rebels? Anyway, the U.S. soldiers being deployed there will help drive ISIS out of its capital city of Raqqa, in spite of President Obama's promise 3 years ago that he would not put boots on the ground in Syria. And in Iraq, as the fight for Mosul continues, the real battle for Mosul is taking place at the dam on the Tigris River north of the city. I've told you before about the shaky condition of the dam there. It was built on a porous limestone foundation, not really good for structures that you want to, stay in place. It was being held up by regular injections of concrete below the dam. But that maintenance program was interrupted in 2014 when the Islamic State captured the city of Mosul. If the dam fails, experts say it could send a wave of water, a wall of water, 45 feet high, rushing downriver. Some estimates put the potential death toll as high as 1.5 million people. An Italian engineering company is working now under an 18-month contract worth about $300 million to try to prevent a disaster of biblical proportions. And finally, scientists believe massive oceans exist deep below the surface of the Earth, some as much as 600 miles down. And they could hold life forms so radically different from what we see on the surface that some scientists would consider them essentially alien life. A researcher from Northwestern University said the Earth's mantle could contain several oceans worth of water. The deepest one is believed to stretch about a third of the way to the core. He said, if it wasn't down there, we would all be submerged. A global flood. Nah, that's crazy talk. Find us on the web at skywatchtv.com. Links to all of our social media sites, including our Instagram page, are there. You'll find me on the web at derekpgilbert.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.